I got to serve as a classroom teacher before taking over my current role. And the climate, the culture was much different in past years. And the reason for that was we had a person who served as a superintendent slash principal.
Oh, wow.
And he was great with the superintendent tasks, making sure we applied for the grants, getting the paperwork in, all of that. But he really struggled in interacting with the teachers and the kids. There was one day last year where it was during my planning block, and I heard this horrible sound out in the hallway. So I came running out. I was 8 months pregnant with our youngest, Landon. And there was this kid in the first and second grade classroom. He was flipping over desks and all of that, just throwing papers everywhere, files all over the place. So the teacher was in with the student, and the para had taken the rest of the class out for recess, of course, clear the room. And so the teacher was working with this kid. And so I started, picking up desks, picking up papers, just trying to help reduce the damage as much as I could. And the administrator walked in the room and just said, "Oh, somebody's not making great choices today," and turned and walked back into his office. And I'm standing there again, big old belly, bending over, picking up things, trying to help and support. And he goes and locks himself in his office.
Yeah.
And it was at that moment, I had no clue that I would be switching to administration, but I told myself, if I ever decide to become an administrator, that will not be me. I will not be that person that turns and walks away and acts like it's not my problem, because it is just as much my problem as it is that teacher's.
I feel like, and this goes for when we were kids seeing teachers, like I feel like you can learn just as much from bad teachers or bad leaders, how not to lead, how not to be a teacher. Because I got into teaching partly because of some of my favorite teachers, Mrs. Owens, Mr. Keller. Those are the Mr. Heiner. Those are the ones that come to my mind when I think of my favorite teachers. But I also remember my first grade teacher, Mrs. Harding, and she was the devil incarnate. And she just was like mean, like mean, like she hated life, and she wanted to take it out on us. And that kind of stuff. And I said, I vowed, I'm never going to be that kind of teacher. And then the teachers that would be, I always had I use this term, the lobotomized smile, where they pretend that they're interested and care about you, but they don't. They go, "So, Aaron, how was your weekend?" And inside they're like, "I don't really care. I'm just trying to, manipulate you." But I always vowed I wanted to be genuine with the kids. Sounds like the same can be said for leadership too. Would you both agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt. I mean, adults can tell when other adults are being fake as well. I mean, it's a skill.
We've never seen leaders like that before, right, Ray? We've never seen leaders.
Nothing like that before.
Well, do you guys think that sometimes some folks get put into those positions when, like, the qualifications that maybe some people think would make a good leader aren't actually what they have? Like a certain administrator we're referring to is somebody that probably would be great with like data and analysis and much more like not interacting with teachers
or students.
or students. But like, do you feel like that maybe that should be something really driven home, is less about another cog in the machine and much more about, you got to find those gem administrators that are going to create that climate?
Yeah. I mean, the administrator that I had last year, I don't know how many times he would say, "What's that kid's name again?"
Yeah.
And I mean, last year we had 70 kids in our building, 70.
Wow.
And he would still ask, what's their name again? And now this year, I can go to the teacher and I can find out this kid's name. I can find where they live. I can find who their friends are. I can find their backstory. But I know a lot of that too. I don't depend on the teachers to communicate that. I learn that from the kid directly, because they can't just accept that because I'm in charge of the school that they should automatically respect me. Some of them have been taught well enough in their homes to portray that they respect me, but true respect has to come from knowing that I'm on their side and knowing that I want what's best for them. And I would much rather have to deal with a few bumps along the way to really generate that relationship, foster that relationship, rather than just, you will respect me because of who I am and what I do. That's not going to get you anywhere.
That's like in leadership in general, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think one thing that's helped me out and actually having Levi in the classroom is I get to actually see some of his friends that are in his class outside the classroom. Like, we go to Little League games and, there's one of his friends. Or when I take him over to his friend's house to go hang out for a little bit, it's like, there's my teacher. That's sort of weird. Exactly. What are you doing here? Oh, wait. Yeah.
We go to birthday parties.
Yeah.
Catch full episodes of the Educators podcast every Thursday at 4 p.m. Real educators with the real issues in education. Thank you so much for watching. And, of course, take care of yourself. Jeans passes to anyone who likes, shares, and comments on this video. Have a great week.